Hello, boys and girls. This is the promised Roman review that we're supposed to have tomorrow if I can get everything uploaded. So I wanted to go over the Roman road. We have been talking about the Roman Empire. I have sent you pages of this book with Petronius and his family. We have Marcus, who is 16, Cornelia, who is the oldest, she's 14 of the girls, 15-year-old Marius, 12-year-old Claudia, Caius is the youngest, he's 8, and then Petronius' sister, Antonia, her children, Cestius is Petronius' cousin, and Pericles is Petronius' secretary. So we follow the family through their lives in the Roman Empire. So I wanted to show you some of these pictures in color because the ones that I had made for you were in black and white. Not as exciting. So this is the road to Rome, and you can see Rome in the distance, and here's the Roman road. So instead of just showing you something that you've already seen, I have my bulletin board. It's ancient Rome, and here we have the Roman road. Now, Roman roads were really strong. The Roman army built an excellent system of solid roads to speed the movement of troops throughout the empire. The straight, smooth roads were better than any other roads of their time, and today you can still see some of the original if you go to Europe. The roads made trade and communication within the empire better, and along the roads were carved milestones that told the traveler how much farther he or she had to go to get to Rome. We have mile markers when you get on the interstate, so where do you think we got those? Rome! All right, we also have here a merchant ship. This merchant ship, can you see it? Can you see that merchant ship? There is a glare. Why is there glare? How about that? Is that better? All right, so many of the goods used by the ancient Romans were moved by way of water. Heavy cargoes of food and wine, oil, marble were carried upriver on these barges or across the Mediterranean Sea on these merchant ships. The ship's captains kept close to the coast to see where they were, as they did not have a compass yet. So they didn't want to lose their way. Ships could sail only when the wind was going the right way. So that is a merchant ship. Now, if you get to Rome, just close that thing. What is that? What is that thing right there? Boom, boom. There we go. So this is, can you see it? There we go. This is the Pantheon. It's an ancient temple that stands in the center of Rome, built of fired brick and concrete. It has a domed roof that rises 142 feet. Many of the engineering techniques used to build the Pantheon are ones that we still use today. Today. So let's move on to the streets of Rome. Do you remember this picture that I sent to you? You see all of the temples. We have the rostra down here, where they would have debates, public speeches, and you can see the Colosseum that we're going to talk about that in a little bit. And I want to show you this guy. See, he's wearing a toga. Only the men got to wear the togas. He is a senator. Now, you think of a senator today, you think up in Washington, D.C. But the Senate was the most powerful government body of the Roman Republic. There were 300 senators, and each one held his office for life. and in order to become a senator, a man must have already served in the government. The Senate conducted foreign policy, passed decrees, official orders, and handled all the government's affairs. So they were in control, kind of. Now Petronius, he lived in this beautiful house. Do you remember his house? That is Petronius's house in color. There we go. You can get a good look at that. You see? All right. And this is kind of another look at a kind of townhouse that you would have seen at that time in Rome. Kind of like that. If I hold it like that, it looks a bit easier. Now this is something we didn't talk about. Can you see that? Yeah, like that. All right, this is called a Velarium. Every Roman house had a household shrine, or Velarium, and the center figure represented the genius, the spirit protecting the head of the household, and the other spirits represented the spirit of the family's ancestors. And the snake was thought to be the protector of the spirits, which is funny because in the Bible, the snake, yeah, he's like the leader of the spirits, isn't he? The devil. Let's move on. So Caius, poor fella, he had to go to school. And school was not like it is today. They had to sit on benches. They had to be very quiet. They had to be very studious. They did not have pencil and paper like we have. They would have had a little inkwell and some little pens that look like this when they were. The Romans spoke and wrote the Latin language. The Romans introduced the Latin alphabet to Northern Europe, and writing was done with a stylus on wax tablets called a tabula, or with pen and ink on papyrus and vellum. Roman books were made of one or more scrolls. And you guys have seen a scroll. And then we have shopping. Yes, ladies love their shopping. Well, in Rome, the only time that you would go shopping if you were a lady of the house was when you were going to get something expensive, like clothes or jewelry. Otherwise, you would send your slaves or your servants to the market or wherever to get what you needed. You would not do it yourself. So here we have the lady of the house. She would be dressed as so. And the gentleman of the house. They would have tunics. The man, see, his is short and the woman's is long. And she's got like a stola or like a wrap. And then he sometimes would wear his toga. You might send, here we go, can you see that? To the marketplace. At the center of most towns was the marketplace, also called the Forum. Here the people assembled to buy and sell goods, as well as to conduct other business and to socialize. The covered sides of the Forum in Rome contained stores and offices. Some stores were open stands that opened into the street, like this one. Okay, so I don't want to overload the computer. So we will continue this lesson next week when we review more of the Roman Empire. So good night. Or not.